introduce yourself to the people, my brother. Let them know who you are.
The name is Marlando Bailey. I'm a mortgage broker. I'm formerly one of your mentors. You're still a mentor to me because I'm still learning from you. I'm still paying attention to what you do. You're always my mentor moving forward, man. So, one of the main things that I've learned from you is to put the client first and do what's right and what's best for the clients. So,
100%.
we don't work 100% directly, but we're still working in that synergy. You know what I mean? I'm still living what I learned from you and what I'm continuing to learn from you.
What do you tell clients, or what do you see as the way to help somebody to figure out if that person really has their good intentions at heart, or if and so they're just there to kind of string them along to benefit themselves? What kind of tip can you give to a client randomly in regards to that?
Okay, so usually what I do, I kind of give clients an insight of what's right and what's wrong in this industry. And as a mortgage professional, I try to establish, what needs to be done from an ethical standpoint, right? Because there's kind of a thin line between bashing other agents, bigging up yourself type of thing, right?
100%.
So basically I try to outline, the right moves to make and, the right things to do. I basically try to guide them the right way, right? And I try not to put my needs and, my need for money or a paycheck in front of anything that I'm doing. I usually do a needs analysis to look at what's needed for the client, what's best for the client. And,
100%.
we basically take it from there. Right. So I try to stay away from, too much talking about everything else and just focus on the client pretty much.
When did you know that, mortgages was the calling for you and that you were going to put people's best interests at heart first?
So my first time getting into this business was back in 2007. So I just lost my job at FedEx. Mortgages was always in the back of my mind, and how that seed got planted. I'm gonna tell you straight up. I'm always honest, right? The guy who did my mortgage, I bought the house that I'm in right now. I bought it back in 2005. I went to the mortgage broker's office, and oh my God, his office was so nice. This guy had all the nice cars and everything, right? So I'm looking at the lifestyle, and I'm like, you make this kind of money doing mortgages? And he's like, yeah, but he also said something that stuck out in my mind. He said, you could make as much money as you want, but you have to help a lot of people. It can't just be about the money.
That's huge.
Yeah, so that never left my mind. So I signed my documents that day. I got my mortgage approved. We closed. But it was always in my mind that, okay, make a lot of money, help a lot of people. How difficult is that? Because by nature, I believe I have a good heart. So I think I was the perfect fit, right?
100%.
I can help people and make a lot of money. How can I go wrong? So basically, a couple years after I got in the business, I lost my job, got into the business, and I just wasn't closing any deals, wasn't making any money. And I had a family, a house, a wife, bills to pay, and I'm like, this is not working out.
Pull the plug.
So,
but you had to deal with what was in front of you at the time, right? So.
Exactly. Plus the wife was giving me the side eye saying, dude, you need to do something, right?
Yeah.
So I went back to work. I went into the trucking business.
Nice.
I did that for a few years, but, the whole mortgage thing never really left my mind because I was also buying and flipping junk properties in the U.S. So I kind of built.
So you were still in.
Yeah, I was still
engaged in it.
in the business, right? And people were coming to me looking for a mortgage broker and a realtor at all times. And I'm referring
Mhm.
to all these people. And I'm like, damn, I'm not even seeing a penny from all these referrals. You know,
Yeah.
and I'm in the States doing all these, junk properties. And I kind of did the math, right? I said, you know
Mhm.
what? Maybe I need to stop what I'm doing in the US and just get back into mortgages here because I think I could create more value here, which is what
Mhm.
I did, right?
Nice.
Because people are always coming to me. So whenever they phone me up, I said, listen, I'm doing mortgages now, you know,
Mhm.
and that's how I got back in the game, right?
Huge, huge, huge.
And
That's a big thing right there, right? To, go at it, fail, but you saw the calling, the writing on the wall of
yeah,
like why you belong, right? So even though you left and exited, you came back in and made it work the second time around. What did you do different now when you turned that light switch on and said, hey, like, I'm going to put my energy in Canada and actually now tell people that, yeah, I can do the mortgage? Like, what other things did you do different than when you first started?
okay, so the second time around, I was in
Hmm.
the same exact situation like before. I did
Hmm.
have a job. What happened was I injured my back in the trucking
Hmm.
business. So
Okay, got it.
I had to get out, right? And at that point, I couldn't go back to doing trucking and heavy lifting and all that. So
Hmm.
I had to figure something out.
So
So
trial by fire. Hmm.
exactly. So now I'm faced with the same situation again. So I said, you know what? It's do or die this time because
Hmm.
I want to do mortgage. I don't want to do anything else. I'm not even going to look for a job. The wife said, you know what? You need to go get a job because the bills are piling up. I said, you know
Hmm.
what? I'm not doing that. I'm going at this mortgage thing 100%. I got back in and I just stayed focused. I cut out all the other distractions that I was doing, network marketing, stuff.
Huge. So you zeroed in on it, right? So that's the big point right there. Once you focused all your energy into it, then doors opened up, right? Because you set the target. So that is huge right there, right? And a lot of people need to understand this, that this is the way forward, right? Because there's so much distractions out there for all of us, right? And it's like doing this, doing that, doing all of these things. We think that it's helping us because we're keeping ourselves afloat, right? But as the comment says, greater good is saying laser focus is what wins the race, right? When you got laser focused, how did you like zero in, like, and how did that ignite the flame within your business?
Well, I think the flame was already ignited because I didn't have a job, right?
Hmm.
So, and we all know how it is. The wife says, you know what, you got to bring some money in, and as a
Hmm.
man, it starts to burn inside of you.
Inside, absolutely.
That you're not holding up your end of the bargain. So,
Hmm.
so, so that's when it got ignited for me because I told the wife, listen, handle the bills, and I'm going to step up eventually. So I couldn't
Hmm.
disappoint her. I had to
Hmm.
step, you know.
Makes
So,
sense. Makes sense.
so there was no other choice. So I had to get on the phone everybody in my phone, and tell them, listen, I'm in mortgage now. All
Hmm.
the business cards I collected from going to different seminars, I had to phone all these people up and say, hey, I'm a mortgage agent now.
No, you see that? Like, I love that right there. Like, and I want people to really hear that again, right? Because, like, at the end of the day, like, that same technique is what needs to be applied right now from people out there wanting to get clients. Like, you have to do the grunt work. You have to put your face to the phone and dial with your fingers and keep it going, right? And like, I'm sure you got a lot of rejections when you were doing that. A lot of people told you, Marlando, no problem, I don't need that right now. But you know what kept you to enroll those people, and how did you keep, again, I know, yes, you had no job and you had that fire lit that you had to do it, but again, how much rejection could you have taken to then get to where you're going and be okay with it? Like, how did you fight through that? Just talk to us about that.
I, I, I took a lot of rejections, right?
Hmm.
But I'm gonna tell you. I want to back up just a little bit and
Hmm.
tell you when I got solid on me doing this business and making this
Yeah.
business work. I
Yeah.
I took my daughter to Walmart one evening.
Hmm.
Um, I don't remember what we went there for, but it was something cheap, right? But then we're walking by the toy aisle, right? And she saw
Hmm.
a toy she wanted, and she wanted that toy, and she picked it up and she said, "Daddy, can you buy me this?" And
Hmm.
bro, that toy was 18 years old. Sorry, that toy was $18, and
Yeah.
I was almost 40 years old, and I was
Wow.
not able to buy her that toy.
Hmm.
And I had to lie to her. I said, you know what, you're too grown for that toy.
For that toy. Yeah.
You know that toy is for little kids. And me knowing
Wow.
being born in,
Heartbreaking.
you know, I'm pushing 40 years old and I can't pay for an $18 toy for my child. And
Hmm.
that that broke me, man. Like I got home that night, I sat in my bed and you know I was tearing up.
Hmm.
You know, my wife don't even know this story, right? I just
That's
sat
huge.
right and I said I got to do better, right?
Hmm.
But then I had the basic understanding that in order for me to do better, I got to help more people, right?
Wow.
And
But
I saw the mortgage industry as the avenue to you know to help a lot of people and also help myself and help all
hmm.
my favorite charities and you know family members who didn't support me, but you know I don't hold grudges. You know they can still come to me. You
That's
know,
always a hard blow. That's always a hard blow at the start.
yeah. You know it was. I pretty much decided at that moment that I'm gonna go hard at this business, and you know to answer your question, you know it was always in the back of my mind to help a lot of people, and that was a burning desire because I've also seen you know what other mortgage agents have done. Like I've personally experienced being put in some bad mortgages, and
Hmm.
now that I'm in the business and I look back, I knew back then it was bad, and now that I look back, you know, doing what I'm doing, I was like, oh my god,
How
uh,
did that person sleep at night, right? So,
exactly. So you know, for me, you know, it's instilled in my brain that I'm gonna help as many people as I can. You can't help everybody, obviously, and
hmm.
I
Hmm.
learned that too. As much as
Yeah,
we want to help people, we can't help everybody because not everybody
absolutely.
can believe our sincerity and our drive and our will to help them and put them.
Hmm.
You
Well said, brother. Well said. Did you have any limiting beliefs to overcome?
oh hell yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah. Even even though I was determined to do it,
Hmm.
there was something in me saying maybe you don't know what you're doing. You're probably not smart enough
Hmm.
to do it. You know, and then you know we hear about other guys, you know, such as yourself,
Hmm.
Andre, doing it on another level, not knowing that you went through the same stuff that I went through, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I did have those limiting beliefs, you know, that I had to overcome, and you know, you know, I had to, you know, put my goals in front of me that I'm gonna do this no matter what. I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to step up, you know, because my thing is people need me, people need us, you know, people are having a tough time out there. They need us. So
Hmm.
why am I gonna get stuck in my feelings, you know, and my limiting beliefs, thinking that oh maybe I'm not good enough to help that person. I am good enough to help that person.
There you go. There you go. First, you got to believe it so that way you can achieve it, right? And that's where it starts. So, like you said, mindset, right?